So for this presentation, my group and I decided to focus on the Ose section from Zong, and we said that the jumbled layout seen within the Ose poems, as well as the others, is written in that disassembled manner to signify the frantic and confusing realizations within the slaves' minds that there was little to nothing that they could do about their impending demise. I found validation for this within number 14 of the Ose poems that states, "The truth is, the ship sailed, the rains came, the loss arose." I interpreted this as the loss of their loved ones piled up as they continued to lose everyone around them, the world kept turning. Ships continued to sail, the rain still fell. There was nothing that they could do about it. And this really stood out to me because you feel that sense of defeat within what she's saying. However, there's also a sense that she understands that there's nothing that she could do about it. So she says this in hopes that her story doesn't die with her. She says this in hopes that it will cause change later down the road.
So poem 15 is less fragmented than the other pieces within the Zong works, but there's certainly no lack of significance in the frantic realization for this group that whatever they do, they have no control over their fate. The poem starts off with a paradoxical line saying, "Defend the dead," which not only has a denotation meaning protect these slaves from danger, but a connotation meaning an attempt to justify. So although they've accepted their fate and realized how devastating their situation is, the claim to defend the dead was a plea for help, as well as a plea for representation in front of the law to prove the significance of their lives. They want their stories to be heard. The rest of the stanza goes, "To murder, the subject and property, the save and underwriter." The literal definition of an underwriter is a person or a company that financially supports an insurance risk. So in the context of this stanza, we can take that to be the mariners who took it upon themselves to get rid of these 150 human lives just because of their skin color. The use of these devices prove our claim that even though these slaves were unable to prevent their fate, they still had a sense of hopefulness that their deaths would prove monumental in the long run. From the layout of the words to the emotional charge behind them, there's definitely a story being told for those without a voice. The diction in Zong gives a sense of desperation and hopelessness felt by those aboard the ship, and while that does little to rectify the situation, it does not allow the stories to go unheard.